5 seconds remaining. Turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Alliances turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to pick. Seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Behold the horn of madness.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to pick.
Life Stealer.
Radiant team pick. Luna. Seconds remaining.
Welcome back everybody here to ESL 1 Germany. Your time is up for our DHL drop quiz once again, and it is time for us to show you the wonderful things you can win as being a part of our DHL drop quiz. And one of the special things you can have is this nunchuck sock, and with the power vested in me by our friends at DHL, let's go see the answer for day number 14. It is the power cogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that you're like, man, how did I get hit by that? I didn't want my mana to get burned, but it's the case, right? Roshan, his collision size is pretty small. Same thing with the tombstone and the ancient granite golem, so there really wasn't any other answer.
Power cogs have like an 80 collision size as well, right? It's basically almost 2 to 3 times more than what Roshan's is, so it's pretty ridiculous that something like that exists in the game. So thanks, Ostrog. Appreciate it. But
balanced.
You know what else we appreciate?
Perfectly balanced. What do we appreciate?
Another game of Dota, lads.
We do.
Ahead of us is game number 2 draft, Viking GG versus Alliance. Now, we're looking at the lobby.
10
Things have
seconds
flipped
remaining.
100%, right?
Yes.
So now Viking GG have first pick and Radiant, and that means Alliance have second
5
pick.
seconds
So
remaining.
going into this, it now does mean that... Actually, no, it's the other way. Viking have second pick. Yes, Viking have second pick.
Yes.
Yeah, so this means that now
Radiant
Alliance can
team
get their hands
back.
on the Magnetar, as well as a loot.
Opening it up with it. I mean, I know Kira, you mentioned you feel like they were trying to get a little bit cute with their game number 1 draft, just trying to be like, ooh, something you're not expecting, perks, pick Earthshaker. Didn't work out.
I feel like, Alliance wasn't really too much prepared.
Really?
In game
They've
1,
had a few days to prepare.
They probably did, but I think, yeah, the first game,
10
the way
seconds
it
remaining.
picked in the third and fourth, like leaving IO open, letting this like a draft versus
5
Blood Secret
seconds
match,
remaining.
I think that was a bit crucial, and then Lina, like EK was pretty much like a reactive pick to the Lina, which they
Radiant
didn't
team
want
back.
it in the first place. So it was a little surprise, and yeah, in game 2, Magnus,
turn to
Luna.
ban.
We haven't seen Luna. We saw
Yeah,
once or twice,
One
and
from
lost.
Ninjas in Pajamas and one from Nigma.
Didn't
Yeah, I thought Miracle played it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that was like a
Miracle
900
played
GP.
well. Yeah.
With a IO, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That was offensive trial lane as well.
Yeah. We had like one of the most standout.
10
It was even one of those
seconds
games where he didn't even need to be a part of the team, but when he did join the team, he had 6 items. Everyone's like,
5
oh crap, there's a
seconds
looter in the game,
remaining.
right?
Yeah. It was one of those. But I don't know, I don't want to be letting this IO through. If you're I don't want to say either team. I think Alliance are going to be the ones that do pick it up if it does get through to them. So I really want to see Viking ban it out right now. This mag though, I'm still a little bit confused about it, right? Because Alliance, they're not huge pickers of the mag. It doesn't synergize fantastically together with the Luna. So what's it for? You know,
We haven't seen any Magnus mid, so we probably have to either expect it's like a pause 5 Magnus
10
or
seconds remaining.
S4 playing Magnus here. So yeah, and
5
with the
seconds
IO, I
remaining.
think Viking can be the one who can pick it up and like pair it up with Life Stealer plus IO. I think, yeah, I think they were playing really good in that Void plus IO lane. So if he gets like enough sustain in the lane, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get secure like a certain amount of CS into the armlet. Yep.
do you feel like they were specifically always going to pick that? Because obviously it's a very strong hero for Viking GG, but there was the Snapfire still in the pool. And I think if they didn't have that direct counter in the Venomancer, they might have gone for that route to be even more aggressive with their team fight potential.
I don't know. I think like with the you really don't want to give IO Luna if you're playing Life Stealer.
Yeah.
You're just gonna farm so fast with the Magnus buff. We saw it in the like Nigma game. So I think it's better not to give it at least.
I think it's fine. And again, like this
Radiant's
Lina, we've seen
team
Aramis play it. We've seen obviously
Yeah,
Boone
and-
plays it very well. And yeah, I don't know, why not? You know, they're clearly not interested in picking it despite having the first pick of this second phase. So they're going to go another avenue entirely. The draft's still pretty open, so I'm not hating it so far. If you're playing the Luna QO, what offlaner
10
do you
seconds
absolutely hate
remaining.
facing?
Well, it goes either one of the
5
way, whether you
seconds
can
remaining.
die or not die. If you don't die in your lane, you can free farm. Like Luna's very strong laner, but like the only weakness about the Luna is if the offlaner and the support has the jumping in potential, whether you can come near you, toss back, or
Yeah, not the highest HP
Yeah.
pool on the Luna,
Yep.
so if you can close that gap, you ton, especially
Alliances
before level 6,
turn
right?
to
Like,
pick.
once that happens, suddenly you can just turn around with the Eclipse.
Mhm.
Chen, pretty good at sustain as well, so it's another celery hero that Viking loved.
I really like it against Luna as well.
Isn't there something that you talked about quite a lot? Because, you know, as we harken back to ESL 1 Thailand, the Magnus versus Chen. You don't really want to play Chen into Magnus, though, right?
You don't
10
want to play it
seconds
if you're
remaining.
playing as a Magnus too.
Okay.
Because you can pretty much RP
5
and right click all the
seconds
creeps
remaining.
down like if it's near around him.
Mm.
But if you're bursting against Magnus 5, like what can they do?
What
Like,
about an S4 Magnus, though? Laning directly against it.
I feel like Chen and Life Stealer is just better.
It's a pretty good
Yeah,
mechanic.
like
They're
the
going to
matchup
have this
itself is,
timing
way
at
too
like,
good.
what,
Yep.
15 minutes where they're just going to be able to run over what Alliance have at this point. So I think Alliance need to get some things that are going to be able to
Radiant's
delay the game a little.
Witch Doctor.
Wave push from a safe distance. Witch Doctor, I guess you can kind of defend against that. The cask's going to be nice. And
A little
sustain.
reactive here.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't really like the Witch Doctor hero itself because, yeah, it's just way too single target.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I think a lot of
Alliances
people are
turn to
sleeping
pick.
on the healing potential, the burst healing potential coming from this Lifestealer pick as well. We've seen it so many times actually being used on supports. This Bloodseeker Lina lane, it's pretty good if they opt to go down that pathway. The only downside is it's not a reliable stun. And that's what Viking GG are lacking at this point.
Yeah, but like they
10
didn't have that
seconds
like
remaining.
a good stun last game either. It was just one chrono and like a
They
lead.
had Rubik to
5
set up
seconds
for one
remaining.
Yeah, I guess this time they just have to use their body. You know, you have to just run in
Alliances
and
turn
use the
to
open
battle.
wound like in front of their face.
Juggernaut, huh? So Juggernaut and the Luna. Is this your position for Juggernaut that you've been wanting since
Or is this
ESL Thailand?
Is this the
No,
position
it's
for
pause
Luna?
for Luna.
Pause for Luna. We've seen this before where they just go the old Axe Rush on the position for Luna. You know, a Luna Magnus
10
lane. Does that feel
seconds
okay to you,
remaining.
QO? Does that feel alright?
Not to a Chen.
It feels alright.
5 seconds
I don't know,
remaining.
like the Juggernaut can't be position 4. I was trolling.
Maybe it can. You don't know. Anything's possible.
Maybe zoning out the Bloodseeker by
Yeah,
spinning out.
just spin on his head, dude.
I mean, I like the fact that they've picked again this more early game oriented carry, just because you can sort of fight into this lineup that Viking GG have, but conversely, it's a lot of pure damage coming through from the Bloodseeker, and you know, Omnislash is only going to be so effective against them. And you've also got this, the heals that will be coming the mech. There's no A here,
Radiant
there's no
team
real
back.
natural burn or vessel carriers either, so that's going to be a really big factor, I think, as well. Propelling Viking GG to a bit more of an advantage, but I will really want to see some more solid lockdown here. Maybe a Storm Spirit. that's able
It's
to
banned.
close the gap. Carnage.
Alliances turn to ban.
I love that there's so many times where like you guys are like, oh man, I really want to see this hero, and then it's like it's banned.
It was just bad. At least
I
it
know.
wasn't like first phase.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we're on a right track, you know, like we're.
Yeah.
It's better than saying like, oh, techies would be a good hero.
Yeah.
You know.
And the techies gets picked, and I look like an absolute
Radiant
genius.
team banned.
Game.
What do you mean it was a good game?
It
Error
was
owned
not a
on
good
that
game.
hero. Unfortunately, Ninja's pajamas aren't in it.
Alliances
It's hilarious that
turn to
they
ban.
have techies track strats.
Oh, Zeus ban. I like it. Like you want to ban it against the Bloodseeker and Lina.
Just a lot of burst, right?
I mean, the thing is here, Viking have the last pick overall, so if Alliance pick a hero that Lena's good against, they could very well just pick up Aramis' hero in the
10
before they can
seconds
go for that more
remaining.
reliable stun. Go something like a Spirit Breaker that's able
5
to close
seconds
the gap
remaining.
a fair amount. You know, you can just pop that Bulldoze, RP, you don't really care all that much, and yeah, you can disrupt these team fights quite heavily.
I think the only difference with this like the last pick from previous game, I think Alliance didn't look that good like when they have to choose that like last pick with the 4-4 picks. But right now Viking looks good, stable with like these 4 picks. Very strong in lanes and
Radiant team
have some answers in the mid late game. So okay, Pogna.
Okay. So they've got tower taking potential like we were saying before. They've got the laning stage. They've got the sustain. Just lacking a little bit of lockdown. That's the big thing that I'm.
Even Void Spirit looks okay.
I saw the other two spirits were banned, and I was just double checking that Void wasn't one of them.
It's
seconds
okay against
remaining.
Luna. Good setup for the Bloodseeker.
Mhm.
Good for killing this Pogna as well.
Well, you guys were talking about potentially Boom playing this Lina mid, but something, you know, we still could see an audible something like a Pug before or mid. Not out of the realm
I
possible.
mean, Lena could still fight.
Yeah.
It's fine with that. Could they even get away with a more greedy core here? Like, there's not a lot of instances of small damage outside of the Battle Fury, Light Fury from the Juggernaut, so maybe a TA is even possible. Gives you some minus armor as well.
Void
You can
It's a Void
select
Spirit,
your
yeah.
heroes.
I mean, yeah, it's good. It's set up for this this Bloodseeker, but it's going to be Boom playing it. So yeah, I think again this lane, it's a Viking draft win again, in my opinion. But it's going to come down to the execution.
Or Luna, boys. Hans picked it up, so let's see what he can do on the play.
I feel like no, this is basically going to come entirely down to the way that the game pans out is going to be how the offlane go for Viking GG. They're able to land a couple of stuns into Bloodroot combinations and slow down the farm on Nico Baby's Juggernaut. That's going to go a huge way towards them winning.
I think they're still deciding whether Limp is on a Magnus
10
or S4
seconds
on a
remaining.
Pogna. So I think it's better that Limp plays Magnus or
5
Yeah, I
seconds
agree.
remaining.
S4 plays Pogna, but I think let's
Alright.
see what they do first.
What are you guys going to pick here? Limp will be playing the
Limp
Pugna, though.
If it went the other way, I might have gone for Alliance.
Yeah, like it's a bit surprised. Like,
Against a Void Spirit is pretty
yeah.
You guys going to go with Viking then?
good. Yeah, I'm going Viking.
I'm going with Viking too.
All right, so it looks like both my boys here on the panel are expecting a 2-0 here for Viking. Will it be upset central here in the upper bracket? You guys will have to wait and find out. We're going to leave it with our casters one more time. It's going to be Odie Pixel and Fogged.
It's game 2 just about ready to start here between Viking and Alliance. Somebody picks her with Fogged. Fogged, would you sort of tend to agree with the panel here? Do you like what Vikings got going, or do you believe in Alliance coming in with always something that's exciting to see this draft that does involve a position for Luna?
Yes, I really don't like what Alliance has. I hope they can prove me wrong, but I'm really not liking what they've picked up here. There's a Juggernaut into a Chen. You know, the Omni Slash I don't feel like is ever going to be very strong here. I feel like they just got countered a lot of times. I feel like Viking maybe just broke Alliance's draft a little bit. We'll see though if it does work, but it does look a little weird for me from Alliance.
Yeah, no, so let's see what Alliance can do with it. As I say, it's always exciting to see teams experiment with the, well, not necessarily support heroes that we never see, but definitely the less popular ones. So the support Luna, which of course, you know, the top teams in the world have shown that it absolutely can work. But let's see if Hanskin's going to be able to do that here today. On paper, that doesn't indeed look like a very easy game for some of the heroes on Alliance's lineup.
No, and I'm just trying to figure out what some of these heroes are really going to do. Like, what is support Luna really going to do? Eclipse looks like it's going to be worthless all game, right? Like, we're playing into Rage, Lifestealer, Speedy, Bloodseeker, heroes that all build Yule Scepters, Void Spirit with Disengage, and then Chen Creeps with a also massive heal that's going to come into play a lot of times. I feel like this Chen is going to counteract a lot of what Alliance does have. The Omni Slash is going to get countered a lot of the times, and, you know, there's a lot of sustain that is coming in from Viking too. They have the Infest as well, which we've seen a lot of teams using as just protecting and saving heroes. So we'll see if Alliance is going to be able to make this draft work, because
Yeah,
I'm struggling to see how it's all going to come together in comparison.
see, a bit of action here. Toby just chasing down Nico Baby. What sort of lanes they do end up being in. Nico Baby is going to head up towards top. Toby will just continue to follow him through the jungle towards that top lane, and looks like overall the setup's not too surprising. Would you sort of agree with the panel? We did see, of course, that hesitation at the end from Alliance in terms of who was going to be playing the Pugna, who was going to be playing the Magnus. Do you like it this way round, or sort of, I think as Kyo was saying, would you prefer to see them the other way round?
I feel like the Magnus mid would have been a little bit stronger, just in particular in the matchup specifically. I think Limp also has some things he has to worry about too at this last big Void Spirit. A hero that can control you and just everything is magic damage. You can pop this Pugna through Decrepify in most situations.
So top lane.
Well, Magnus
Damage
just a strong lane.
Blade Fury. Yeah, with the way it's set up with S4 down bottom, I mean, he should be able to really farm down there. It's not a hard lane for S4.
No, I wouldn't imagine so. I feel like Chen can do so much fun moves here that you can just break this lane. You can even set up what they kill the Luna pretty easily, though. Konskin can definitely die if Seller's able to ever get a good creep. We're seeing that Konskin is making sure that he blocks those camps, though. The first ward to block the small camp, and then, of course, he's body blocking the hard camp.
Yeah. Some overall, too, in terms of heroes that do have the potential to have a pretty open game. I mean, you say already the Void Spirits have those strengths against heroes such as the Pugna, but overall just the lack of catch, right? I mean, you look at this Void Spirit, what's actually going to be there to catch him by surprise?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I feel like that's going to be, like, a lot of the times I'm looking at Alliance's draft and I don't know how they play when they don't have RP down. I don't know how they make these, even just ganks across the map. Who's going to be your ganking trio? Witch Doctor, Pugna, and Luna? It's very awkward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for Limp, it's just right. You're a Pugna, but you're a Pugna that alone, you're never really going to be able to walk up and threaten a Void Spirit. He's jumping out there. You're never going to be able to walk up and threaten a Lifestealer. He's raging out there.
Yeah, your hard stun is a Witch Doctor cask and a Lucent Beam. It's very limited. We see Celery, he's finally able to get the D ward, so his pull is going to be open. But we're seeing they're able to farm down bottom just fine. Shad is the thing is that he can't get pressure down here, and Hanskin, he actually has to instantly TP when they get an open wounds on him. So they're not slowing Shad down at all.
No, Shad not in any trouble against this game right now.
Nope. We see mid, Lip is coming out with a couple more denies. Maybe a little bit to be expected in the matchup. Just being very dominant in a lot of these matchups, especially versus these melees. And top, I saw FNG, he went for the level 1 heal this game on the Witch Doctor, so just full about playing the lane passively, just trying to secure Nico Baby the farm.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Hanskin able to find himself a courier and replace another sentry to block the small camp before it spawns. So Celery unable to get a small creep yet, but his hard camp is open.
Try to make a bit of a go on Celery here, but step through the trees and get back out of there in time. I think one thing that definitely can be said though for Alliance, you know, it is a Nico Baby juggernaut. You know, this is one of the heroes where if he starts to hit those early farming items timings, he can become sort of this ultra carry at a pace that, you know, a Lifestealer isn't going to be able to farm at the same rate. You know, Nico Baby, if he gets a clean start, he's going to be at the top of the charts.
Oh yeah, and if he can ever find opportunities for these clean Omni Slashes, sure, he might be able to actually kill like the Lifestealer if he's isolated. It's just looking at the whole, the whole thing together, boom, don't feel like that's going to be the case. There's going to be Chen creeps a lot of the time too, and a lot of different heals that he has to deal with. The one thing vote for Nico, baby, there's no BKB piercing stuns. While the Life Stealer does have to worry about that on the side of Alliance. Decent amount of BKB piercing things.
Mid lane, Rune's spawn won't favour Viking, as it sort of pops bottom. He's able to take it with an arcane, and get a few more lucid beams in harass down in the bottom lane.
Stops the pull. Getting harassed really hard by these creeps though. The little wild wing, that plus damage. They're actually pinging him out. It looks like Celery wanted Shad to go over there and go on Onskin. Might have been able to actually kill him.
See top, they're going to try and kill Toby here. At least have a bit of a shot there. Does Nash want to commit there? And
Bottom,
a bit
S4
too
does
deep.
not. He actually puts the second point in Shockwave, and I think they're aware of that now. So they might look to actually pressure S4 whenever he steps up without having Skewer.
Yeah, next round of open wounds. But gonna have to be careful. Has managed to push them in a way that will give Hanskin the space to take the 2 bounty runes down here. Top lane, top half of the map, Viking will be able to get those 2. And in fact, the dives there by Toby and Aramis. They're in onto FNG and they'll find it. First blood coming in at 5 minutes.
It's gonna be a scorcher.
I'll take that.
Very strong lane up top. All these Bloodseeker plus 1 lanes just feel insane. Bloodseeker plus Rubik, Bloodseeker plus Lina, Bloodseeker plus Wind Ranger. Just any of these just feels super dominant most of the times. And Aramis with his deep ward, he's gonna get a Curtis Snipe.
Has been killed.
Taking Obs and a Sentry away from Alliance for a bit of time.
We're seeing Boom suffer mid though a bit here. After that laning start and then also just not getting the rune. He's actually been pushed out completely here as Luke. Now with the catapult, he actually can look to pressure the tower a little bit here. Does have the 3 points in decrep, more about the killing build, but should still be able to really punch on this tower. Aramis is going to rotate over to try to slow it down. This is a big move here. Do they have any points in 8th or mid? They don't. So they can't look to really set up on a kill, but
Radiant's middle tower
away
is
from
under
Limp.
attack.
Oh, Limp gets a sentry. He's actually looking for the kill.
He's going to know this. Aramis is able to turn with the stun set up. In fact, time's been bought for Boom to jump in. Want to commit any further with that second step. Wouldn't have had enough to pop Limp and to be cautious and respect that life drain turnaround capability. Still keeps Aramis safe.
S4 having to play a lot more defensively bottom. He's even put the third, even another point here. No skewer, just third point into Empower. So walking up, getting more laps, it's a little bit concerning for him, but I feel like he's gotten enough out of this lane anyway.
Yeah, and I imagine he probably feels that against this lane, as long as he's got a TP, he's going to be able to escape, right? There isn't going to be that threat of killing at a rate that he can't be careful. But yeah, with the gank of Boom, there certainly will be the burst. There's no escape for S4. When there's 3 of them being down upon him,
is under attack.
Shad get the last hit, so still more money going the way of a Lifestealer that's already had very, very free farm down here on the bottom lane.
Radiant's middle
We see
tower
Hanskin.
is under
I
attack.
kind of figured that this would be the case. I don't know what you do as a support Luna really if you're not running like a tri lane. He's just stacking. They've got a double ancient stake and a triple hard hand stack to set up
Top
Jug.
and the Tribe of Toby here, they've got Limp coming over as well. They're going to have the burst easily. Take as quick as Boom makes a move down bottom. Limp's available to reflect that and make the move up top. Takes out Toby.
Is he done? Boom, trying to poke on that mid tower a little bit there, but he has a Void Spirit, and Hanskin will get some much needed levels here in the mid lane. It looks like S4 is actually going to be the one to take the stacks, so not leaving them for the Jug.
Yeah, I mean, I guess sort of figures that Nico Baby, he's very happy still in this top half of the map. He's free farming. It's sort of the time spent heading over there to clear those stacks, not quite worth it for himself. And it's never bad for S4 to get himself some early farm, pushing towards his first time. I mean, is this again, do you think he will be going for the Blink Dagger straight up, or do you imagine we're going to see some auras being built up by S4?
I think he might have to go for Blink. They have no forms of starting fights or really doing anything in the game. Witch Doctor, Luna, and force anything. I feel like S4 might have to go for the Blink. And also, another thing to point out, since he did take the stacks, he actually took a Royal Jelly charge for himself. He didn't get the Limp.
Oh.
He took it for himself and for the carry.
Yeah. S4's, yeah, he's gonna say to Nico Baby, don't tell anyone. Don't tell Limp.
He was quick how he handed them out too, with no hesitation when he picked it up. See Hanskin continue to stack up. And we're seeing Viking already coming out with a slight gold lead here after this laning start. And it feels like for them, they can make the moves a lot easier. They can actually gank lanes. They can gank from side to side. It feels a lot more limited for the side of Alliance.
This one was always mine.
Imagine as well this game for Alliance. Would you sort of say that the Jug with the Empower and the is better for them? But when you look at the heroes they have this game, I mean, you know, last game we did see Viking getting away with the passiveness. This time around, is it more likely to reward Alliance if the game falls into a similar state?
It definitely could, yeah.
Radiant's middle
The Jug
tower
plus the
is
Magnus
under
are going to be really strong. There's some strong stuff from Viking though, like this Life Stealer. We've seen how much they have this Tricore going for them as well too.
Hanscam was able to move in and get the kill onto Aaron. The life train is keeping Hanscam alive and it'll save them.
Very nice.
Able to walk away there, Boom not quite able to commit to bursting him down. Alliance getting the pick on the leader, backing off in time.
Like,
Dire's
careful
middle
how far he
tower
walks
is
out, he
under
gets ruptured.
attack.
Difficult to damage him. Then trying to stand his ground here straight away, coming in with a burst. Toby's taking a lot of damage, but the Remnant's in place. Pulls. This was the life drain.
Bottom though, they actually get shad with the movement from Nico Baby.
Ooh, with the RP and the Omni. The double ult. It does the job. No, that's a huge move to make. I mean, bringing in the carry and taking out the enemy carry. Big moves from Alliance down on that bottom lane.
Having to commit both their big ults though. I feel like that's the only way they can actually set up ganks. It's just like it's RP. The other besides that, it's Witch Doctors that don't set up ganks. They don't defend towers either. They're an awkward support combo. They're gonna get a good amount of pressure down bottom, but we see top Viking. They're actually gonna put more pressure, and they're bringing heroes bottom to fight. Chad.
Already out with the skewer. Now, TP backup coming in for Alliance. FNG's over here as well as Hanscam walking over. It's a little hard for Viking GG to chase any further.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
They're just getting more out of the map again, just like the last time. Already up to a 3k gold lead.
Yeah, they're
getting
just
more
a little
farm.
surprised that kill on Shad didn't really shake up the lead that Vikings right now at all. Still holding that 2 to 3k advantage over Alliance's farm here in the early game.
They've gotten some pretty big kills. And Toby, he's past it, so he's a lot.
Dire's top tower
On
is
its
under
Bloodseeker
attack.
Seeker in comparison. The Magnus only has like 60, and a lot of those were jungle creeps for S4. So Toby just quite a bit more farm. His heals already finished up, I believe, on this Bloodseeker. Very early. Now he can also be, you know, that setup now for the Lina. He can start moving around and ganking a lot more on this offlaner.
Sure, and a
Dire's
solid
top
dodge
tower
for,
is under attack.
you know, against those big ultimates. That
Yep.
you say a lot, so relying on getting the kills. RP, Omni Slash, you're quick with the heals, you're going to be able to dodge both of those.
Yeah. I think I even wouldn't mind if Viking goes 3 Yules. Like Void Spirit, Lina, and
Yeah.
Bloodseeker. It works so well versus this lineup of Alliance. Set up around mid. They've got the Ogre Ice Armor set up onto Shad. 28 armor.
Boom.
No boom.
She's going in aggressively there. S4 toying around with the idea of dropping the RP, but won't do so. Booms out with the Astral Step.
Bottom. Maybe gets ruptured.
Still got the spin in the TP. He's going to turn the Omni. And he's going to get, he's going to get it. The crit comes out. Nico Baby gets the kill. Boomer's headed down here, but Nico Baby, he's fine. He's able to walk away. Actually, I guess overconfidence there from Toby. Maybe not expecting the Omni Slash to be back up. But it was. I think it probably only just came up for Nico Baby. That's a dead
Radiant's middle
Perfectly
tower
done too. He
is
pops the
under
drum
attack.
charge as he omnis. That extra attack speed, it was everything. If he didn't have that, the Hand of God would have saved that Bloodseeker for sure. And that was right before the Bloodseeker, I believe, did have the Yules finished up. I think it was at base, or oh no, he's still missing a component.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nico Baby bringing it back for his team. They really need him to. He has to do so much this game. It really does feel for Alliance. He has to carry, and it looks like he has to be kind of the playmaker a little bit. They're just limited because of their 2 supports. Hanskin, he's 1-0-0, but he's just a Luna. He's just gonna farm up. I guess he's gonna go for Aghanim in this game, which I don't know what else you really buy at these support Lunas. But he isn't a Chen, so. And Rage, which kind of counteracts it very heavily. See Aramis set up on top for Hanskin.
Aramis is able to get in range for the stun, but Hanskin is playing it smart, keeping it at the top tree line.
Yep. They're waiting for Boom to walk over. Boom's getting close. Aramis is going to commit soon.
No,
And they're bringing even more just in case.
Yeah, Ken. I don't think he can run away from this one. He can maybe try and shoot and go for a TP out, but now Boom's in straight away on top of him.
No.
Ken will be found.
A lot of farm for Nico Baby though all this time that they're not able to pressure him at all. That is the one thing too, is like we have been talking a lot about expert, very little disable for him. No BKB piercing anything for the jug, so Nico Baby, he's got this
Radiant's bottom tower
free
is under
farming game
attack.
as Toby mid. It's gonna be enough, he should be okay.
Just responsible with a straight TP out.
Yeah, look at how deep Nico Baby is. Look how far deep he's pushing. That's how
I mean,
safe
he knows,
feels.
right? Yeah, he doesn't feel that they can kill him, and I don't think he's wrong.
The
2-0-1.
Limp though getting set up on. He's got
Radiant's
backup.
bottom tower
That's
is
true.
under
Immediate
attack.
TPs from everybody on the line. It's coming in to keep him safe. I mean, Limp won't go down. They aren't able to get the catch on to Boom in time. Very close to having the blink. Just 100 gold away from having Blink Dagger on S4.
I mean, that could be pretty huge. Another incredibly quiet game on 4-4, 15 minutes.
It is, and I mean,
Very
as I say,
farming.
I think this time around, you know, you're a jug with power. I think the Lions is. I mean, maybe it's arguable if they're more comfortable than Viking in this game, but they're definitely more comfortable compared to the position in the lineup they were playing with in game one. When it came to sort of slowing things down. This time around, they've actually got a jug. So with the Impala, who can really make the most of this downtime.
Yeah, they're not hemorrhaging too many kills either on their other one. Like Limp, he's only got the one death, so. Yeah, if they just keep it at this pace, it does feel like Nico Baby can do quite a lot in this game. I mean, Manta's already done. Phase Manta Drum, level 13, almost level 14. It's off the fantastic timings. And it really feels like it's going to be so limited for them to catch him. It's like Aramis has to stun him from the tree line or something for them to actually set up.
It's going to be a light strike into a remnant from Boom, and that, even then, you know, you're going to actually have the damage. You're going to need at least a Laguna to have a chance. Nico Baby just charging in. It's a crap by the slowdown Aramis over to the side. Limp ruptured, and holding the high ground here. Viking aren't going to step into it.
They insta-bailed. Aramis was immediately TP'd back to base. They had no intention of fighting that area.
This jug is going to be very hard to deal with. Shad is got the AC. I mean, I imagine for Shad, do you think Abyssal Bash is probably quite high on his list of priorities this game?
Yeah, the AC works really well though with this whole team when they're grouped up. It's going to buff up everybody, right? That Lina and that Void Spirit as well, just quite a lot. I do like this choice here. It's not selfish at all. It's really not. It's just all about the team, really, if he's just going to go for this build.
Radiant's middle tower is
And that's
under
really
attack.
what I feel like Viking is all about, is like this group up. Same thing for Alliance, but
Radiant are scanning.
Shad has to be careful here. If he's off RP, S4 is at the ready.
Yeah, he's
Radiant structures are
almost in a
fortified.
position to go for it there on Shad.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Doesn't try and find the jump. Just happy with forcing Viking away from this top tower.
Radiant's top tower
Allowing
is
Alliance to
fallen.
clean up another objective. Viking, meanwhile, putting pressure on elsewhere. Bottom lane, Boom and Aramis.
Trying to get any of these towers, but this mid and bottom tower is still quite a problem for them. Mostly the mid one, as we see the smoke coming out, S4. They're trying to get this set up onto Shad.
Shad. Is he going to be able to, you know, are his spidey senses tingling? They're hunting. Shad. There's the jump. In they go. Everything drops down on the Shad. Oh my goodness, he didn't die. He didn't die. 3 ults for what? They didn't kill him. And now Viking's going to be able to turn up, kill FMG. Nico Baby, his Baker is about to come to an end. He's running. They're chasing. The only points out will be able to remove it with the Manta Style. Over to the side, Seller and Aramis, the control S4. The Blood Right, and it's not going to hit onto the two of them. Nico Baby will manage to get away with the rest of them, but he didn't die for those 3 ults thrown down onto Shad. I mean, between what the armlet toggling and the one, it wasn't enough damage. Deadwood, RP, and Omni Slash, it didn't do it.
And this is when we talk about all the little things kick in and all the little things matter. Broom handles, Lino, all this armor and heal. Light's still looking to go in. Nico Baby, no Omni though. He has to be much more careful. One disability can be very likely to die. They do have their Magnus respawning. Nico Baby.
Been hit by them. I'll scout as well as the Malady, but now Shat moves in on FNG. And G burst slow, the dust is out. FNG heading up to the high ground. Hassan comfortably on top of the North Corner, brings out the Astral Step. Over to the side he goes. Amos taking damage from the play. Pure S4 into the side, but he's stopped and mid-skewer by the Yule Scepter. Remnants out, they do lose the Lina. Instant buyback from Aramis as they'll kill off S4. Alliance holding the high ground here. Nico Baby holding his position. She is still ruptured. Like they're trying to finish this Roshan. Alliance still doing their best to push Viking away from being able to comfortably take this Roshan.
Nico Baby still very confident of how strong he is. They're going to send the Void Spirit back to heal and then recall him with the Divine Favor to look to fight. So a full HP, full mana. They're even going to bottle up their teammates. It looks like, yeah, Toby walking near. So they're all healthy. Alliance, Luna very low on mana. The rest of them are healthy though. As for does he have a TP? His TP's on cooldown 20 seconds.
He's heading walking over. And yeah, the ults are going to be up. So now it's a little harder for Vikings to push for this Roche onto the side. Nico Baby. They figure it out in time.
Stalemate watching at the Roche here. 20 minutes kicks in. Bounty runes grabbed. But there's the Omni Slash. There's the RP available again. Fight gonna be a lot harder here for Viking. Chad, I mean, he's almost got the AC finished. It's gonna help his team a lot with the mech aura, with the AC aura. All this plus armor is gonna be real strong versus this Jug Omni.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that it's not only those items, just the sense of the heroes too. You know, Chen with his armors. Yeah. We've already said all these things adding up. Meaning that they really do have to tune moments to get Nico Baby in with the Omni Slash. It's not going to be easy to find that chance at all, really. At the point where we may really just see the Omni Slash used as a way to sort of keep Nico Baby alive rather than necessarily guarantee him a kill.
Yeah, just so many different ways that they can play around it. And it's gonna get scary a little bit here too. I feel like they have to try to like force this Roche here on the line. They can, especially when Void Spirit gets the Ags. I feel like it changes a lot because then you can just pop these back heroes. Doesn't quite have it. This is a big movement here for Alliance.
Civilized get away with this. Smoke out. The rest of them on the sidelines as Esco's ready to jump with that RP. Holding low. They do have steal potential. Boom, ready for the Astral Step. They're able to snipe it. It's getting very low here.
Sending the creeps in.
Nico Baby's trying to come in with Play Fury, but the Roche has been left incredibly low. As the Shat's inside the pit. He's out. They're looking to finish it off. They're going to they're going to be able to get the kill in the Aegis. Boom's able to pick it up. As off to the side, Nico Baby popped the Omni Slash, but he was just all over the place. He wasn't able to focus down anyone. Had to play Fury and heal them to get him out of there. Shad turns over towards them, slows him down, but the open moves to set up for the right track ring. Seven extends in the center of Creek to land the stun on the Pugler. Limp goes down as Viking GG. I mean, they just get in at the perfect time. The stuns are out. They've got Aramis to sort of set up the space. Shad, he's in the pit. And they get it. They get the Aegis on Boom too. There's no problems with that. You know, they're very happy to pick it up on the Void Spirit. Big Viking.
And even though Nico Baby, we see him, he's very farmed in this game. He's really strong and slash all this armor. It's 40 armor on a lifesteal. It's 3 in fact.
An easy kill for Shad there as Boom's in with the setup. Making moves down towards Nico Baby. Nico Baby. He has got Play Fury, but he hasn't got a TP.
Oh my god, are they gonna actually be able to chase him out?
He's at the side. They do have the car count to Aramis. Aramis is trying to get a start the invest. He'll keep it Aramis. And like this shot, the new grab has his S4. There's nice land of 3-man RP. Is there any form that is sucking Shad low with a light trap, but it's not low enough. Boom jumps back over with the Astral Step. S4 tries to kill away. Nico Baby is just gonna hold and hope that they don't see him up here. They do kill Boom once. They do it a second time. Boom. But John with the Simulate, Nico Baby trying to head back in, but he's still rather low. Shockwave pulling Boom off to the side, but still too difficult for Nico Baby to get himself back in on the action. As now Viking GG up 7k, 12-5. Starting to get quite ahead, and you know, Shad, he is keeping up, no problems with Nico Baby, despite Nico Baby having the Empower.
They're too tanky, and just there's way too much heals in the fights. Just innate tankiness from the armor that's coming out from all of them, and even some Ogre Frost armor that I've seen Celery doing. And then just Hand of God comes out, plus a mech. All the damage that Alliance throws out is just gone. It's looking real hard for Alliance to take into these fights. As for he has to, it feels like he has to find these dream RPs, but he can't. Toby's on him every single one of these fights. He just zooms onto him, pops a rupture, just hits him, just doesn't allow S4 to get any setup. Like I said, I feel like that's everything for Alliance. It's S4 landing an RP.
Viking.
They've got a timing now. Ag's finished up on Boom, so it's much stronger than he was in these last few showings.
See, they're going to be able to
have a
find
much harder time. Yeah.
Nico Baby.
Radiant are
He's
scanning.
going to show himself on the wave. They want to swoop down for another. They want to try and find whoever's hovering around this mid-tier 2, and it is Limp. Limp's up the glimmer, but the dust is there. In fact, the double dust. So they're definitely going to be able to see him.
Dire's middle tower is under
As
attack.
Limp, just underneath the tower.
Fortified.
It's getting to the point where for some of these heroes on Alliance, it just doesn't feel like an easy game at all to play when you're behind. Limp very vulnerable to the burst, and even that physical, just the combination. Decrepify is not going to save him, and even if he does, they're going to have burst to go through it.
Toby's just running in, ruptures Hanskin.
Bursting Hanskin, loving it, Hanskin. Not got many options. The death one is down to Aramis to put them out. They should kill him, and actually Hanskin can live.
Okay.
Stands his ground past the Eclipse. They'll get the two of them. As Viking GG poked around a little too long.
The two supports feel like they just did more work than the Alliance in a lot of the fights. They're finally able to get some big kills.
Bounty.
But really feeling that effect of just having a 4-position Luna. Just it feels like it's not doing anything.
Hanskin.
Hanskin's, he's getting
Hanskin.
far. He almost got his egg, but he's walking into.
Oh, we didn't see it!
What the treat?
Oh, the unintentional juke. Amazing.
That was okay.
I mean, Hanskin will never know how close he was to his death there.
And now, I mean, he's got his Aghanims pretty much finished.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's been a pretty useless Luna besides just having some stacks going on throughout the majority of this game. Let's see if the Aghanims can start to actually bring it into fruition, because it's really starting to feel like Alliance has a pretty impossible game going forward here.
And we see Shad as well. After he's got this flash, he's been flicking through a few items. I mean, what would you think is the best to settle on? He's got the MKB currently queued up, but he was also sort of toying between the Nullifier and also just the completed Abyssal. I mean, what do you think the MKB is the best decision here for him now? What does he need the most?
Yeah, MKB. They saw the pickup from Nico Baby, him going for Eagle Song. I think that those 3 items though are exactly how he should finish it up.
Sure.
He should go for MKB, into Abyssal, into Nullifier, because Nullifier counteracts the Fog Zone, and Abyssal's just going to be really strong versus that Juggernaut. Finally give them a BKB piercing disable.
Yeah, and I guess,
Radiant's
of course, the
bottom tower
Nullifier
is
can also
under
be
attack.
very nice against these carriers relying on the
Radiant's
power.
bottom tower has
So
That is
fallen.
very true.
getting in, taking that off before a big fight kicks off can
Dire's
make all the
top
difference.
tower is under attack.
But still a long way to go for that to happen. But again, you know, not the most action-packed game. It is setting up to be a game that could draw on for a little bit of time. Both carries farming away to their heart's content.
Just is the question will have to come out is can Nico Baby do it by himself? Because the other two cores are just not farming, and Limp. He's at a point where he's already probably at that point where he's just kind of useless in the game. He's very susceptible to just dying if they get on top of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, can Nico Baby carry this? It's gonna be a lot up to if S4 can get these big RPs for him. As yeah, they've itemized pretty much all about him. I was looking to see if they were going for like medallions or solar crest, but they just chose not to. The supports just went full greedy for themselves. Ags and Veil, rather than any medallion or solar for Nico. Which I would have really liked to have for him, since they're doing a full 4 protect one.
Illusion.
Let's confirm with this is S4. Leading the way. Needs a big RP. They need it to get a good jump to keep the fight going in their favor.
He can't be the one to just start the fight though. I feel like someone else has to start some chaos, so S4 can actually get an opportunity to get these RPs off. He can't just walk up. It's given that
Dire's
chance.
top tower is under attack.
Someone has to just walk in and
Celery's just gone on his high ground. He knows that some sort of movement's coming in around here, and it is.
instant stun. Puts that ward up.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Fast on boom. They're looking. They saw S4 for a second. That's the target. That's the main one that they want to get on Viking.
S4. Oh, he's going to jump in. He's on Aramis. Triples in with the dodges. He jumps right around with the Astral Step. They burst down Aramis, but instant buyback comes out. And now Blue's ready to fight back in with a 3-man silence. Here the Resident Pulse on all of the live trains. Keeping hands kept alive. Toby with a run down onto Nico Baby. The healing ward's keeping Nico Baby alive. Toby, he's able to take it away though. Nico Baby tried to turn. But the ults have been used. RP's down, Omni Slash is down, and so is Eclipse. And all that they got out of it was a dead Lina. They only were able to kill off Aramis. And now Viking's ready to fight back with full force. We're going to Blade down to S4. He's able to skill up to the side, but Shad's got the damage. S4's taken out.
They both jumped at the same time.
Yeah,
Blue jumps and dodges the RP with Shad inside him, so they only catch Aramis, and now lots of heroes lost for Alliance.
And as you say, it's so important for Alliance. They have to hit something with these ultimates. The RP in particular, if they don't get something clean to start the action off. I mean, you saw how quick Viking just adjusted to that perfectly. The instant buyback from Aramis and Hand of God being popped. It's just total chaos. And the Alliance, you can feel it. They seem lost after an RP is missed. If they don't get an RP on a core to set up for a kill to start it off, Alliance know that they've just got to turn their tails and run. They've got to get out of there because there's no chance of fighting Viking once those abilities have been missed.
I mean, it really feels like those are their only abilities, I'll be honest. Like, I'm watching and Limp can't really get too much off because he's so far behind in this game. It's really just an Omni Slash and just some auto attacks from Jug. If they miss the RP, the fight's over.
Come baby, try and put some split push in. It's going to take a Laguna to the face. As pushes him back. Space there for Viking to take that Roshan.
Aegis and Cheese, almost MKB finished on Lifesteal. They're taking all the boxes, and I'm looking at the itemization. It's all about just dealing with Jug. They know all these other heroes, they don't do much of anything, just massive amounts of armor, Lotus Orbs, etc. being built up. But yeah, just feels like Viking, they're prepping themselves to just be able to handle Nico Baby. So I feel the Alliance just might be one of their last hurrahs here. Abyssal Blade purchased. If they lose this next fight, doesn't feel like they're going to be able to win any in this game.
Timing on RP because the ults are all back up and ready to go. We've seen already how hard it is for them to make that move onto Viking. Now having to do it with the Aegis and Cheese, they're going to have to come out with some sort of jump or move that we are yet to see from them this game.
Yeah, they have to try to get him isolated, but even then, like we mentioned multiple times, Shad, he has 44 armor when he has the armlet on. Yeah. He has a greater Fairy Fire, so he'll probably get 1 or 2 charges of Aegis too. So many different things now that Alliance has to deal with, and look at the way the lanes are. A Viking, they're aware of the positioning of Alliance right now because top and mid are just so far pushed in. Top's actually going to start getting hit on by a catapult. Blood Rage it, Toby. Maybe we'll eventually.
And look at this as well for Serling. This is some pretty top-tier Chen army, right? If you look at the creeps he has, it's kind of perfect for all across the board what they offer.
Yep. Some armor, some movement speed, some magic resistance, and some damage. And a sun. Look at all the buffs that they have on them when they're running around.
Look at it. Everyone's past the inventory, Tommy Buff.
Oh, he spotted. Braving.
Honor me.
The void minds not your existence.
I mean, Alliance, they're going to need some miracle-like plays from S4 with the RPs.
I mean, they drafted like that. Like, they picked Luna, Pugna, and Witch Doctor. You have to know that this game is going to get to a point where it's all on RP and on Nico Baby. Like, these three, like, as soon as Pugna starts doing bad in the game, the support duo can't do anything. Like, Witch Doctor and Luna, they can't set up for kills. That's Clear. He's spotted.
And he's going to be killed.
Why did you make it?
Starting to really fall apart for Alliance here in this game too.
Yep, more items going into Vikings inventory. Shiva's now finished for the Void Spirit, level 20.
Full pipe on
Oh boy, yeah.
Here we have Nico Baby. Get the Blade Fury off in time.
I'm actually surprised he built the pipe instead of going Lotus Orb.
Pulling onto FNG. Well, FNG's not going to be alive for this defense. He's straight up drags in by the red. They do get the scout back onto Shad. Jumping from Boom comes in straight away with the silence to keep Shad safe. They do turn overboard. Boom, getting focused, but he's able to jump out to the side. Hancock, he's back up at full HP. Boom's able to jump out. They won't kill him. Was a buyback coming out from Limp. Not able to set up or catch anyone from Viking. Even with that deep skewer, it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Very scary for a second there. He's forced to pop his cheese to survive as he gets almost chain bashed under tier 4s. Gonna push them back. But yeah, we're seeing the
silent killer.
Lions. They got any smokes? What sort of moves can they make? I mean, is there actually a chance of getting a jump outside of the base, or can they only really rely on a high ground hold?
I think they can only really rely on high ground and also playing into Aegis. So it's just too scary really to walk out, make a mistake, and you can just lose the game here if you miss an RP. So much pressure on S4. Seeing bottom Hanskin, he's trying to find places to farm, but Toby, he's standing on top of him.
Yeah, he's just ready to play around with Hanskin. Yeah.
Goodbye, Hanskin.
Nothing to be done there by Luna. Mid lane, Nico Baby did start to make a move over towards Shad, but not a target to jump upon with the Omni Slashes. That just been quite enough damage. This jump, even as far as Nico Baby is. Now,
getting initiated on. Gets a spin though. CS4 goes for a long journey to push top as well as gather 2 bounty runes for his team, so get some gold. But we're seeing Alliance. It looks like desperate moves, right? Just trying to find anything they can out of the map as Vikings they're constricting them completely. And look at Aramis and Boom on the hunt again. S4.
He's out.
I'll make it out.
He's out and away. Managed to live. There's some the really sort of insane numbers coming out. In the good and the bad sense, really. For both teams. I mean, it's getting close to the stage where Limp and S4 they're going to be falling behind the net worth of the 2 supports of Viking GG in a sort of an objectives time.
Yeah, they actually might get 5 of the top 6 on the side of Viking if it keeps going at this pace. They still get reclaimed, and the Alliance, they're feeling a little bit of strength here, moving out, getting some wards, and actually going for a smoke play. They have vision down bottom of this lifestealer. If they blow absolutely everything on Shad, they can get him. If he's totally isolated.
Dire are scanning.
You have to make a move over there as their lane's still pushing in heavily.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, all of them just sitting around Hanskin. That was very obvious too. They have like the Vlad's aura on him too, so they just know that everyone was sitting right next to him, so they just ping him, set themselves up on the high ground, let Aramis keep pushing the lanes, Viking playing it calmly here, waiting until they can finish up these next few items as they're just a great state right now. All the pressure's on Alliance. Viking sweeping up toward top here, and Nico Baby is pushing out forward here. Aramis, he's in position to try to get this on from the tree line.
There's nothing opening. I mean, the good. Ooh, and they're not quite there in time, but it doesn't matter. The bash isn't just the right click from Shadow takes him away. Nico Baby pushing out alone. They're just able to set up like that on him.
And he's playing on the southern side too. So many times this game, Alliance has been very careful playing on the northern side of the tree so they can't get stunned from the tree line, but slip up once Aramis, he finds it. And 70 seconds where they just can't do anything. Alliance has to watch the whole map be farmed.
20 to 8, 14k lead. I mean, well, we've heard it from sort of Viking in the interviews that they've given about how they really do sort of study how their opponents play, and they always try and come up with something that directly counters, you know, what that team's been proven to be successful with. It definitely feels like in both of these games they are just playing. They know exactly how to play against Alliance. As Alliance just both of these games has just seemed pretty lost.
Yeah, it really just feels like for Alliance, it's just been a lot of them just playing the farm game. Vikings, they're playing the farm game, but then they know when they hit their timings that they can punch back at these moments. Yeah, it's been some real good play and real good control of the game. Alliance is just, it's really felt like no hope for the majority of this game. since this 20-minute mark, where they were pretty close on this gold. After that point, it's just been Viking the whole way. And yeah, we're looking at that net worth. Lena has now surpassed Pugna and Magnus. So 4 of the top 5 for Viking.
It's not like the ones below are that far apart. Like, there's still a chance that we'll see Chen take over and get himself up into the top 6 too.
Yep.
I mean, what one team finds, Sano he's going to be up. He's going to be up there with the rest of them. And,
yeah, and all these things will really matter. Is
Roshan, that might do it. You know, that'll get close.
They have a full acting on Aramis now too, so the jug, Nico Baby is starting to look very frail. 4,300 HP, and Axe with Luna more than half HP just be gone.
Fallen to the Radiant.
It's Aegis and Cheese.
Acronyms for Toby.
Oof. Very nice, yeah, double. Oh my god, that's going to be so good. 2 charges of Rupture, and they also did find a Timeless Relic for Boom. So, spell damage, debuff duration on this Void Spirit, who is approaching 25.
Yeah.
Dissimulate stun talent, probably going to be grabbed if he hits that too, and
yeah, and he's also not too far from, you know, pretty much getting the Octarine done.
Yep. They're just getting so many different items in Alliance, they're not getting much of anything. It's just Nico Baby slowly trickling getting these items.
It's, you know, we say a lot of times in games that do get very one-sided and a team's down with a mag, but you know, I do mean it when, you know, for Alliance to turn this S4, he's going to need a 5-man RP. If anything less, it's not going to cut it. They have to hit something insane, as they're 26k down, and yeah, just nobody other than Nico Baby with any sort of semblance of farm on their team.
Nope. You know, it'd be the saddest that he lands like a 4-man RP and then Nico Baby runs into Omni and he Omnis a Lotus. Still possibilities of all this happening.
Well, yeah, that's true. Nico Baby's got to watch out for that. You do not want to Omni a Lotus Lifestealer.
No.
I'm sure he won't. These guys are professionals. But if he does, yeah, you are right. That could
Dire's top tower is under
only
attack.
rub some extra salt on the wounds here for Alliances. This has, without doubt, been a very rough series for them now. After, you know, some performances from Alliance as well. That, you know, they did pretty much what they ended up at the top right during the group stage. They were winning. They were winning up win after win. I guess for whatever reason today is just, it's not Alliance's day. They've turned up against Viking, and Viking's done the better prep, the better homework.
Yeah, and this, I mean, the better draft, really, like you can just say, Alliance's draft is just like, awkward because they have this support Luna. It just makes everything so hard for you to really do much of anything ever in the game. With 41 minutes, and we can just keep talking about it. You know, Hanski's 1-4-4. I feel like his biggest contribution really was just stacking some camps for his team. Feels so hard for them to just play anything and just do anything versus this Viking draft is... Yeah, the lead's just getting ridiculous at this point. It's almost 30k. Well, 25 for Shad, almost 25 for Boom.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're almost at critical mass here.
Yeah. There we have it. Trying to push the base. Well, what is Alliance going to do about this?
Are fortified.
See what S4 can do. Can he get any type of place here? They've already got vision of him, so he has to watch out if he blinks up and he just gets Yules and combo immediately. So he's gonna get Yules.
Instantly, as soon as he's in, the Yules is there. He's jumped on a run, jump forward, the Laguna bursting it low. They're trying to keep it alive with the life trailer. With the Abyssal, Shad's just over onto the lift. The 5-out will come out from the two of them. Turn over towards Shad, but still another run. Nico Baby's got the bashes and control onto Boom, but it isn't enough. Boom is able to jump out. The Cheeks, he's back up to full HP. He's out of there. As Viking GG, they'll get the space to take this Rax. 3 heroes dead as well, having to come out with 2 buybacks there, Alliance, but still not able to do anything against Viking with those buybacks.
I'm surprised he goes for the skewer play. You have to know that they're gonna use you instantly, right? I was seeing it the whole time too. Like Aramis is just waiting in position with all this cast range. S4 has to be more careful.
There we go. It's a solid RP. One of the 2 of them, and Clips following up as well. But with the Yules and with the Silver, they're out of there. Chancellor moving on to them, taking down the Pugna. Over he goes, over the walls. S4's dead. Nico Baby silenced and killed. That's going to be it. 3 dead for 3 cores. No buybacks available. As Viking, they can just play around with the lines right now as they clean this one up. Triple kill for Boom. Onto the tier 4s. There you go. There's the GG. And a rough day for Alliance indeed. And Viking, I mean, both of these games, Viking just looking so composed and controlled. It was was just a masterclass from them. Both games a showing and a lesson on how to be Alliance. They do it